Hello, my name is Royara Kitsune, and
My name is Regal Fox.
okay, we're going to live with that. Today, obviously, we are here to show you how to use OBS. Now, you're going to hate this, but I have to turn on monitor capture to really show you guys, and I'm sorry, but this is OBS. Obviously, I've minimized it so that it's not full, kind of just mind abuse. But I can still show you what I'm doing. Um, and I'm going to basically show you, with the help of my partner here, how to build just a generic kind of setup for, if you want to stream or you want to build YouTube videos.
Well, I won't really be able to help because I'm learning too, so it's just
Okay, so
you.
yeah, let me rephrase that. The reason that the Regal Fox is here is because she knows nothing about OBS. In the nicest way possible, she knows nothing. And we thought that was a really good way because I thought about making one of these videos before, but I wasn't sure what to say. So with Regal Fox here, she's going to kind of keep me in check, and she's going to make sure that I answer all of the kind of questions that she thinks people who know nothing about OBS might have. Um, so yeah, first things first, we're going to add a window capture.
So that's after.
Well, this is me showing you where to get OBS from. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a new window. Actually, no, we can. Yeah, we'll just do this. We're going to capture. Cool. So that was just me adding the capture of this window to the system instead of just watching the whole screen. And if you wouldn't mind holding this, so, if you go OBS download into Google, it's actually really convenient. It's the very top one. Obviously, this varies depending on what kind of software you have. I mean, you said you had Windows, just normal Windows, didn't you?
Yeah.
And what I'd recommend for people who are just kind of getting into it, do not touch Studio. Studio is scary. Studio is not our friend. I don't even like Studio, and I've been doing this for a year. So basically, you go into it, and if you've got Mac, Windows, or Linux, you just choose your operating system, and it's real simple. You just click the download, and you're good to go. So that's it. That's really it. I will remove this window capture now. Cool. So yeah, I hope all of you saw how I added window. It is literally just add window, and you can use this for if you have games that aren't full screen. You can use it if you want to capture something from the internet, or you want to capture pretty much anything. Like I've used it for PowerPoint when I wanted to do a PowerPoint at university, and it kind of turned out okay. It wasn't the best, but it was okay. It meant that I didn't have to talk while I did the presentation because I had recorded myself talking, which was, good for me. Yeah, so basically it will be here. If it's not, you just click refresh and it should turn up. Depending on whether you want to or not, you can turn off capture mouse or not. But generally these two, you don't have to move because they don't seem to do anything on OBS. I've never had them actually do something. But yes, so obviously today, we're just going to construct the normal, bang on average kind of stream.
Basic. How to use it.
Yeah, just a basic, what we're doing. What we're going to do is we're going to just move this over to the side. Hopefully you guys are going to be able to see it all still. We'll work here. If that's, you're okay with that?
I'm fine. I'm
Cool.
learning, so I'm just listening to you.
Cool. Right. First things first is it's actually OBS is so user friendly. It's really simple. You've got all these options for what you want to add. Depending on what it is. Question? No? No questions? Cool. So let's start off just by adding a background image, and we're going to call it background.
That's I've just seen that.
Yeah, no, basically, oh, okay. We'll go to the very core. You see down here, have a list of the scenes. If you go, is that blank? No, that's one I filled already.
But you have to right click.
Yeah, if you right click, you can add a whole new scene. Like, the reason I'm not going to do it now is because we've made a whole new scene for this. You can move them up and down, and you can set hotkeys actually, which is really nice. Because if you want to switch between hotkeys while you're doing, I don't know, a video, like say you want to have one scene where you are actually in game, and then if you want to like press, I don't know, F8 to go out of the scene, I'll just show you. I've set up hotkey. This one, we'll say it's F7. Cool. let's say this one is where I'm like playing the game, it's going really well. The game ends, I've won, boom, press F8, takes you back to that one. It's a really nice feature, and it does transition really nicely between the two, which I think is good, personally. I quite like it. I haven't used it, I've had no reason to use it, because I'm lazy, and I like to just edit all of my videos afterwards to do it for me. But yeah, no, if you want to save time, you want to switch between scenes, that's how you do it. And it's so friendly and easy, to be honest. It really is. They make the whole thing. The reason I like OBS instead of all these other free softwares is because of just how easy OBS is. Yes, that's how you add scenes and you move between them. Right, now we're gonna actually start building.
Step 2.
Step 2, you're gonna add images. Now, basically, you open up your files, you can look anywhere you want. For the sake of this demonstration, what we're going to do is go to my desktop, and we're going to add this Pokemon image that Google wants to use for her Pokemon stream, or she's considering using. Yeah, so basically what you do is you can, if I just show you now, you pop it up top, stretch it down. You can stretch by pressing Shift and holding the edge of the item. To delete or crop, you can press Alt, which I think is a really good thing.
That's cool.
You don't always have to use it, but okay, so this is, obviously you can't see what I'm doing on OBS right now, so I will be explaining. Say this is your generic stream background, you want to put a game on top of it. We're not going to put Pokemon on top, we're going to load up a whole new game called One Finger Death Punch, which is a great game if no one's played it.
Absolutely.
It's so funny. Cool, so that's open up now, so you can't hear it, we can. Obviously, yeah, you can just
Silver dollar.
There you go. Basically, you can control that by just. I know this seems really simple, but I'm going through everything that I can think of. It's just these bits here. Basically, how loud that is how loud you want the game. And generally, if you want to record your voice over it, you really want it, down here, because of the fact that games are so much naturally louder than a microphone. I don't know quite what the reason is. But yeah, that's one thing. So we're going to open this back up. Nope.
And of course, the one next to it is how loud it is.
Yeah, right. Go there. Yeah, this bit is just like, normally you want it on max because I don't know why, but a lot of cheap microphones really struggle with being loud on OBS, so you have to have it turned all the way up for it to really have any impact. Move it back. Cool. Now then, what we're going to do is we just move this over using the shift button. That's full screen now. What we're going to do is right click on top of it, add, game capture. You can name it whatever you want. And if for just this example, we add One Finger Death Punch. I will quickly actually hide the picture that I'm using on top. If you right click, I'll show you game capture. Really good. It's right here. So
the game comes up automatically.
Yeah, most of the time the game will
When
be
it
there.
runs, it should just come on.
Pretty much, it's so simple. But yeah, if you've got more than one game open, you can just find it. What I generally do is stretch to screen. I take off capture mouse because I don't like having my mouse just kind of moving all over the screen all the time. I know some people don't do that, it just bothers me. I'm a fussy person. And yeah, so if we add that, there we go. Now you can see One Finger Death Punch full screen. So what we'll do is we'll edit this. We'll add the image back on. And what I'm doing right now is I'm pressing no. I'm just changing the size of it on the screen right now. It's really easy. Just move it around like you would like a picture in Paint is how I kind of like to think about it. Now it's not exactly spot on, but there you go. As you can see, it's stretched out. It would be odd to have a Pokemon background, but One Finger Death Punch is a game. I just think it's straight on that up. But yeah, realistically, that's how you add a game on top of your image. But let's say you want to do more than that with your stream. And like I keep encouraging my partner to do, add a face cam. So if we make this smaller just for a minute.
If I can get my webcams to work again without them messing up the computer again. Sure.
That sounds quite fair, to be honest.
I haven't tested this.
Cool, so I just moved this down. Let's say, this is, oh crap, just resize you. Wait, oh, I'm pressing the wrong button. There you go. To be honest, yeah, no, I've always thought that they look like they're trying to be human, but it's not actually human faces.
It's just the guy in the yellow. He's putting such a strange face.
well, look at that. That is not an easy kick for a man to do. We have parts that make that painful. Right.
Fair enough.
What we're going to do now is add, we don't have a webcam set up because I broke it in a fit of rage, to be honest. But yeah, you open it up here. It'll be here. If you've plugged it in after you have plugged in or started OBS, you will need to close it back down in order to get the system to recognize it. But that aside, it's actually really good. So we can't add one, but just say you have, you can pop it anywhere you want on stream. It appears just like the window capture does. And yeah, no, from that aspect, really simple again. OBS, absolutely wonderful software. And yeah, so okay, so you've added a window capture. What you could add next? What would you like to add next to your setup?
I don't know. I just wanted a background.
Oh, okay.
The video in it. That's what I was trying to go for, and just how to use all this stuff on OBS because it's confusing the hell out of me.
Okay. What we're going to do now is going to hotkey over to 7. Cool.
Yeah, like that.
This is my generic, pretty much standard setup. If I just, you guys can't see this, but we're just making it bigger so I can show you. So basically, what I've done is this is just 2 images on top of each other. So you've got your background image, which obviously add right click.
So when you add the image, it just saves because on that scene, so it just saves in the sources.
Yep.
But, right, as soon as you add it, so right.
Pretty much. There we go. Cool. Sorry about this.
Into a weird qualification.
Cool. Yeah, no, that is literally just adding one image on top of each other, and then putting a game capture inside of it. Really
so
simple.
when you record it, do you not record on full screen when you record?
No, if you can record in full screen all you want. All you have to do is when you add the game, you make it smaller when you're messing with your scene.
Well, after you've recorded it, so you can record normally just in full screen on your TV, and then put the saved recording in this app. Can you do it?
No, when I basically, sorry, my colleague was asking me if you can record something and then make it smaller. Not really. You can, I think, in more expensive software. But what I did with your episode is I actually recorded YouTube inside of that, using window capture.
That's just
Sorry. So basically, what I'll do now is I'll show people my settings, just because I think I've got a pretty average computer. My settings are pretty good for pretty much anyone just to start off. And I think if I show these, you guys can just pause the screen and you can basically copy it down. Max bitrate, basically, if you have a low max bitrate, your videos will be really jumpy. It'll record a second and then it'll jump forward 4 seconds because of the low bitrate.
Does it kind of depend on what game it is as well? Like Pokemon, you can kind of record pretty easily.
Yeah,
simple,
if you've got a really advanced game, let's say Star Wars Battlefront 3 or EA.
It would need more, wouldn't it?
Yeah, simple games though. I mean, 5,000 is pretty good bitrate. Yeah, never really had too many problems with it. Then obviously you've got these, but yeah, they don't really do much. Broadcast settings. Okay, so depending on when you are in the world, you will obviously have to have connected to a different server. But pretty much everybody uses Twitch. I feel is a safe thing to say. You just click Twitch and then you choose their individual servers from around the world, and then you're good to go. This Twitch stream key, basically to get that, you have to go onto Twitch. You have to go onto your dashboard, which I can't show you because everyone has their own stream key. When you sign up to it, you get your own. And so if I showed you mine, that would kind of defeat the point of having a personalized one. And then yeah, I mean, you can actually just click optimize, and it will take you to some really generic, not that great, but kind of okay settings. when you want to change as well what videos and stuff you have, or where you save them, like obviously as you can see on my system, I've got everything in this YouTube folder, and then on my basic recordings in this recordings folder. And then I can just kind of move stuff back and forth between the two when I'm ready. So that's one thing that you might want to do when you set up your own OBS. Then it just comes down to, you choose your monitor if you have more than one. If you have more than one, you can actually record one specific one. You set your resolution, your FPS. Now I've just got mine set as 30 because I feel like 30 is enough. You don't really have any problems with it. You can, if you want, go up to 60.
Isn't that the highest that YouTube has?
Pretty much, yeah. Sorry, I need to close it. And then, yeah, then it's pretty good. Sometimes there's a bit more stress on your computer. But yeah, no, this wise, just I go for default because that's the easiest way, and my speakers are my default option. But if you've got like sub speakers that you want to use, this is how you choose them. I don't suggest doing that because it's complicated. Hotkeys as well, you can have loads set up. If I have start and stop recording for when I was playing games. I'm not even going to pretend to understand this screen. This is what it set itself as. I've never touched it. The microphone noise gate, I think, is one of the best things to tell you about. Basically, if you have this, when I'm not talking, you almost have utter silence, which is really great because if you're not talking all the time, sometimes when you're using OBS, you'll get background static, which is just annoying, and it really annoys people. But if you use this noise gate, it almost cancels it out. Sometimes the static will be there, but it will never be as bad as when you have just it not set up. Scene switcher, which is just where you swap scenes. And yeah, so what else do you think you need to? What else do you want to be shown? She's erring.
I don't know. I mainly wanted to know about the overlay stuff because I just trying to figure out how to get it to record. I just didn't know how to make it look like yours. Basically.
Just pictures on top of pictures is how you generally do it.
I still don't know what to do about that picture. Video pad.
Okay, we might cover video pad in another video.
No.
But yeah, so no more questions about OBS that you think people might want to know. You are a person of the people. I am not.
I don't think so. Well,
No?
you've gone through all of the settings. Yeah, you've gone through all the settings. What's global sources? What's that? And plugins? What's that?
Oh, basically, plugins is if you have any external software that you want to use as part of the OBS. The only one I've really ever used was it was a download where you can have OBS show what music you're playing. But those are kind of an external that you have to download them and get them set up by yourself. Global sources, I think, is also the same thing. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully this has been a okay guide, just to show people the very basics of OBS and how to use it. If you've got any questions, do ask down below, and I will more than be happy to just respond to them and help people out. But the thing is, it's really awkward to make these videos because you don't know what to say. So I hope at the very least it's helped a little bit. And yeah, so this is Royaro Kitsune signing off.
Regal Fox signing off.
And have a great day, everybody. Peace out.